Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Don't Argue podcast. I hope you guys are well. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. Yes, this is the preview match between Fremantle Dockers as well as North Melbourne, and I'll give you guys the rundown through the squad players, my thoughts on the squad, strengths and weaknesses, 5 players to look out for, predictions, conclusion, and I'll finish it off as well with promoting my live tomorrow. And I hope you guys are part of that and have a bit of a watch along. I'll give you guys my perspective with a yarn and all that stuff. Right, guys, so yes, for the squad here, I want to start with North Melbourne first, and I'll go into the Dockers. And again, I make apologies for any mispronunciations of any names. So fullbacks are Kane Turner, Aidan Corr, as well as Josh Walker. The halfbacks are Luke McDonald, Ben McKay, as well as Lockie Young. The centres are Curtis Taylor, Luke Davies, Uniac, Bailey Scott, and the half forwards are Jaden Stevenson, Cameron Zuha, as well as Taron Thomas. The full forwards are Paul Curtis, Jack Zibble, as well as Jed Anderson. The followers are Todd Goldstein, Jai Simpkin, as well as Jason Horn-Francis. The interchange is Atu Bosena Bulangi, Hugh Greenwood, Callum Coleman-Jones, as well as Flynn Perez. Emergencies see Jack Mahoney, Tom Powell, Kyron Hayden, as well as Matt McGuinness. Now for Fremantle, the fullbacks are Hayden Young, Alex Pearce, and Heath Chapman. The halfbacks are Brennan Cox, Luke Ryan, as well as Jordan Clark. Centres are Nathan O'Driscoll, Andrew Brayshaw, as well as Brandon Walker. And the half forwards are Michael Walters, Josh Tracy, Lockie Schultz. Full forwards are Liam Henry, Jye Amiss, as well as Sam Switkowski. And the followers are Sean Darcy, Will Brodie, as well as Caleb Sarong. Interchanges are Darcy Tucker, David Mundy, James Aish, as well as Bailey Banfield. And the emergencies are Neil Erasmus, Sam Sturt, Nathan Wilson, as well as Ethan Hughes. Guys, just quickly, I guess it goes without saying, we all know what happened. So Justin Longmuir announced over the week that there were some players that are going to be out due to health and safety protocols. Those players are Blake Acres, Griffin Logue, Lloyd Meek, Michael Frederick, Rory Lobb, as well as Travis Coyler. But in saying that, we have some ins too. Obviously, as mentioned, Hayden Young, Heath Chapman, Liam Henry, the return of Sean Darcy, and the debut of Jye Amiss. And guess what? I am absolutely pumped for this guy's debut. I cannot wait. I've heard good things about him. Obviously, us Freo fans, as we talk about these different names of different players and all that stuff, we always need to remember this one. Jye, never miss, right? Well, yeah. Jye Amiss as well. I think it's going to be such a good debut for him. Now, my thoughts on the squad overall, I'm happy. I mean, obviously, when you have the omissions of some of these players due to these health and safety protocols, it is what it is, right? Though in saying that, there's some very good key players. Lobb, Coyler, Frederick, all of them, Meek. You know what I mean? It's a big loss, to be fair with you guys. But overall, it's a good squad. Now, obviously, there's one player I named in particular that I want to really talk about. Now, this person here is called, we all know, Liam Henry. Now, he is a player that either people say he'll get there or people just say they've had enough of. That's the reality, right? You as a viewer, I'm sure you feel the same. Either side of the spectrum. But, however, in saying that, if there is ever a game for you to try and come back and play well in, it's this game. Now, I'm not going to try and disrespect North Melbourne here, but for someone like Liam Henry, this is a good game to try and show your skills. And now, I know in his addition, you got the likes of, Erasmus or even Sam Sturt who missed out. But it is what it is. Obviously, the coach is showing good faith in him. To be fair with you, I do see this as his last roll of the dice for Liam Henry. I really do. He's got to produce the goods. That's my overall thoughts. Give me your thoughts. But yeah, look, it's a tight one there for him, I think. But I hope he does play well for sure. Again, you got the likes of Sarong, Sarong for me hasn't been playing well. I don't think he's good. Don't get me wrong, obviously, but the last couple of games, I think he's just been a bit out of touch of the usual form we see him in. Right? I'm not sure what it is, but I'm sure he'll bounce back here. This game here should be a game where I think as a collective, regardless of whether you're playing well or you're not, this game here you need to use it as a launch pad. I think anyway to as a team, you know what I mean. Use it as something to jump out of, to zone into, to increase, to better your form. This is it. But I'm liking it. Nathan O'Driscoll, cannot wait to see him play. Andrew Brayshaw, what needs to be said about this guy? You know what I mean? Good things is amazing. Darcy Tucker back is great. Hayden Young, I've missed him. Heath Chapman, I've missed him. I'm just thinking of, Jordan Clark and Hayden Young just kicking it out of our 50. just down the middle, to the midfield, and they do their thing. I'm looking forward to it. Sam Switkowski, unfortunately, will be without his, his pal in, Travis Collier, but hey, that's okay. That's just the way it goes. Will Brody, what? Oh man, look, it's a good squad. It's a good squad. That's a good squad. But yeah, Jye Amiss, I cannot wait. Hopefully, he'll get a few goals. I reckon he got five in debut. What are your thoughts? All right, guys. Now we're going to the strengths and weaknesses. I want to go over the weaknesses first, then we'll hit the strengths. So the weaknesses for Freo, I think anyway, particularly last game against the Cats. I think one was a slow start, and I don't know why. Was it slow because we were sort of taken aback by what was happening, or was it slow because we couldn't keep up with the pace? I'm not sure what was happening, but it was definitely a surprising thing to see. Freo of old would have folded, and we all know how this goes. I've seen games where teams have had the upper hand on us in the first 10 minutes of the game, and you just know that's literally the story. That's it. It's going to be a bad game, but Freo bounced back, showing grit, heart, and determination. Something you absolutely love to see. Freo way to go. That is the Freo way, right? Never give up. Now, another thing as well I want to touch on, weaknesses. Getting our own 50, it's quite ironic because we know how to smash and bash in the midfield, right? And crash over to the other end of the goals and score a few. But it's quite funny when it comes to us getting out of our own 50, even against the Cats in the last 5 minutes, we could have arguably lost the game had it not been for Frederick's goal, but you get what I mean. We struggled to kick out a 50 and then they scored goals off it. It was kind of, we need to patch that up. We need to patch it up. You know what I mean? It's a tiny bruise, nothing bad, but it needs to be mended, I think. So, yeah, look, that's my thoughts on it. But our strengths, the midfield, the way we play it, defensive structures are on song. Even the way we're kicking goals, it's accurate, it's good. Obviously, a few behinds, but I mean, generally speaking, it's going forward, it's going in there, and it's good to see. Overall, I'm just really happy with the way we're performing personally. Now, guys, 5 players to look out for, right? So I've got here 5 players from, North Melbourne and then Fremantle. So for North Melbourne, I've got, Jason Horne-Francis, I suppose it goes without saying. Cameron Zuha. I've got also Taron Thomas. I've got also Ben McKay. And I've got also Hugh Greenwood. Those are my 5s. Now for Fremantle, I've got Will Brody to look out for. Cameron Sarong. Hayden Young. I've also got there Sean Darcy. Last but not least, Jye Amiss. Jye Amiss. I'm looking forward to seeing him play. Like I said, like I touched on before, I think he's ready for five goals on debut. Why not? Why not? Do it. It's time. Do it. All right, guys, here we go. It is time for the prediction, right? Now, I guess, like I said prior, I don't want to disrespect North Melbourne, but, they're a struggling team. They're on the up slowly but surely. But in saying that, for me, I need to be realistic here about where Freo are, where our goals are, and where North Melbourne are, right? Where the Kangaroos are at the moment. And I need to try and be upfront with that. Honestly, playing this team here, even though we don't have our full strength squad, which I wish we did, but we don't, I think we should win this game by at least 50 to 70 points. Is that being too harsh? Perhaps, but we have what it takes. Again, obviously, if you're looking at the squad here, we obviously are missing some key players, like I said. But I mean, the reality is we should be up by at least 6 to 9 goals. That's what I think. Freo, man, what if we got even to the triple figures, right? Anyway, Freo, to win by, like I said, a stretch of 50 to 80 points. I reckon Freo 142. North Melbourne 56, something like that. That's what I'm going for. Tell me your thoughts. Guys, the conclusion, right? So this is the part where I wrap it up in a ball and throw it to you guys, and hopefully you guys can mark it, kick a goal. So, look, the reality is, we are somewhere else compared to North Melbourne, right? And again, like I said, the prediction, I don't want to talk down on North Melbourne here, but the reality is, they're not a squad that are going to do much damage to us, to be fair. Now, in saying that, obviously, Fremantle need to be prepared for the punch, because obviously the media are backing us to win, and we've all seen it in sport. For those of us who watch a lot of sport, you get the team that's supposed to win versus the underdog, and then lo and behold, they get punched between the eyes, and it's all over, right? The underdog ends up winning. Fremantle need to be prepared for that. I would encourage, as I did before, to treat this game as a preliminary in the sense that we just need to go in, give our best, and get as much goals as possible, right? I think that's important. Obviously, a win is important, but you get what I mean. But yeah, look, in saying that, I truly believe the boys have what it takes. I don't see us struggling in any sense of the word. I really believe we can do this. But yes, that is my thoughts there, right? I really am hoping again for Liam Henry to have a good game. But again, just the team as a collective to really, really play well. Looking forward, like I said, to Jye Amiss, but Nathan O'Driscoll, Luke Ryan, Jordan Clark, just all of them. All of the boys to have a good game. David Mundy as well, we all know. But yeah, there's not really much to say there in the conclusion apart from I just expect, Fremantle to win and Fremantle to win well. That's the reality. Now, before I go, I also want you guys to know I'm doing a live. I hope to see you guys there. It's going to be 8:10 my time, and I think it's going to be like 6:40 your guys' time. But yes, I'm keen to watch us win and obviously commentate on the game, and hopefully you guys can join. So join me, that'll be great. But look, in saying that though, guys, I'm going to go. But I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys enjoy this. And if you're new, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I said, but at the end of the day, North Melbourne, this ain't the turf for you. Guess what? Don't argue.